And welcome back, everyone. Day 5 and day 6 of the Make More Offers Challenge presented by Myron Golden and his team. Now, it is a 5-day challenge. The reason why I'm saying day 6 is because he added a day, which was Saturday, because you're meeting Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. I believe that's correct, or maybe 12 noon to 1. But nonetheless, Monday through Friday, and then we had a day for family reunion. And I thought this was simply great because it really adds value. You're getting access to the resources, to the teaching, to the coaching for an additional day. The notes that I want to give you today are taken from that platinum portion, which is prior to everyone coming in, and it was some nuggets. It was definitely some nuggets. So one of the nuggets from the questions that others asked, specifics and details, or specifics and particularity create conversions. And that's one of the things that has been very hard for me to hear, because he has said this in answering my questions, is that, Jason, you're not clear enough. You know, when you have the specifics and particularities, that's going to bring clarity. So being very concise and clear as to what you're pitching, right, or what you're explaining, and telling people what you do, telling people why your offer is of value and it's something that they should purchase and trust you to deliver on that. Clarity is a big thing. So specifics and details, or specifics and particularities, create conversions. Make sure you're answering the what, when, why, if, who in the content that you produce. Many times we can make content and we are using the terms that we understand. So for example, if I'm making content about real estate industry, I had to understand that if the content is to potential buyers or potential sellers, they may not be totally up on all the real estate lingo and terms and things like that. Now, if I'm creating a program, which I'm actually working on for coaching or mentoring other agents, then yeah, I could use some terms that would more readily make sense to them. The understanding will be there. But, you know, answering the what, when, why, if, who in the content you produce, because producing content to reach those who don't know you, those who have no earthly idea of who you are in that industry, they're coming to your page because there was some type of feed or, you know, suggestion on YouTube or whatever other platform. And because they've looked at content in that industry, you're coming up in their feed as a suggestion, video, what have you. Then you want to answer that what, when, why, if, who in the content, which breeds clarity. It makes your message crystal clear in terms of what you're offering. It raises the value or raises your content to a higher level of value in their minds because it's clarity that they're getting. Most entrepreneurs are too lazy to obsess over their potential client's problem. And that's true. How much time do I spend? How much time are you spending obsessing over the problems? And you may say, well, Jason, you know, I have to identify the problem. Of course, that's where you're going to be able to position yourself, position your content, position your offers as the solution. And if you want a quick way to get rich, then create a huge problem that a huge number, create a solution to a huge problem that a huge number of people have. Now, I'll say that again, because, you know, guys, if you've been watching my content, my mind is just running 100 miles an hour. Create a solution to a huge problem that a huge number of people have. And I can even preface that and say it may not be a huge problem. It just may be a very common problem that a lot of people have. So, you remember the time, maybe about almost 3 years ago, when we had to go through a period where face masks were, they were pretty much demanded. It wasn't even an option, but everyone needed face masks to wear if you were going outside of your own home. There are some people that got crazy, crazy rich off that time period because there was an absence of supply. That was a huge problem, not so huge in that you had to be a genius to create a face mask, no, but it was a problem that a whole host of people had, and not just in the States, but in other places. There were people who found manufacturers of that face mask. Another country found a middleman, middle woman, middle company, whatever have you, distributor. They were able to sell it online without even having to ship it to their, particular location. And they made a lot of money because they were solving a problem that a lot of people had. Let's see. So yeah, serving. Here's another point that was really interesting. Serving the largest group of people creates the greatest leaders. Now, serving the largest group of people, let me give you a little context, or let me elaborate on that term greatest preceding leader. Serving the largest group of people creates the greatest leaders. Not so much in that they're the best leader of all time in terms of their leadership skills, in terms of maybe ethical leadership or moral leadership, that they have the genius to find solutions, but it makes you definitely the leader that's the greatest in terms of demand, in terms of the course that you are leading those large people on is the course that's making the most traffic, right? That's going to have the greatest impact on the smaller groups. So be it a leader that you agree with or not, if you become a leader, or if anyone becomes a leader and they start leading a large group of people, that is a great, meaning with large influence, large say so. Yeah. It's the truth, man. It's the truth. So real quick, work where your passions and your proficiencies intersect, and trust the yielding to this. And something else that Myron said that was so impactful, and I've heard it said a different way, and both ways it stopped me in my tracks. He said, oftentimes, the hardest thing for you to do is the doorway, and I'm using layman's terms here, is the doorway to your greatest outcome. I've heard it said another way. The magic you're looking for, and you can apply, I'll put a blank in your business, in your life, in your goals. The magic you're looking for lies within the work you're unwilling to do. I'll try to be a little more eloquent. The magic you seek is within the work you're not doing. Think about that. And it's the truth. Now, if the word magic triggers you because you take it literal to mean sorcery and point to that, okay, fine. The breakthrough that you seek is within the work you're unwilling to do. And the people that become willing to do the work are rewarded with the breakthrough. So if you're not getting breakthroughs now in your life, first check, are you willing to do the work? Secondly, you may say, okay, Jason, I am doing the work, but it's still not happening. go back, sharpen your axe. Are you becoming more efficient in the work you're doing? Are you really creating a mastery, or growing, I should say, to a mastery of that? Sharpen the axe. Don't just keep swinging at the tree, because you're swinging at it with a dull axe. You're going to be swinging for a long time. So there's always this refinement in our methods, in our approach, in our learning, that we need to be accountable for. But nonetheless, if you do that and just keep swinging away, it's going to happen, because either you're going to get better at it and your breakthrough is going to come, or you're going to find in that process that you're stronger in something else. And it's okay to pivot. It's totally okay to pivot, right? So let's see what else here. And I just had a thought that I want to share with you. Yes. And I'll leave you all with this. If you're working hard, you're getting better, and the breakthrough isn't happening, many times it's because you're not communicating it effectively. What I mean by communicating effectively, because that can be very subjective. Well, how well do you know your audience? What are they responding to, right? If you find your audience, find out where they're going, who they're listening to. A great way is following someone that you admire, look up to on social media, whatever platform they're on. And if there's a comment section, read the comments. You'll see a lot of "this was great," or "the point about this," or "that was like landed home. That was a nugget for me." Questions. And you can see if that content creator responded to that question, at least, where the questions are publicly that you can see them. Maybe they DM'd them. Most likely not, especially if there's a lot of interaction. They will just go back and answer it there. But that's going to help you to better refine the way that you're delivering what you're mastering, the skill set you now have, right? And with the delivery, because you can have a great product, you can have a great offer, you know who needs it, you know the problem that they have, and your product, your offer, or your service is a solution to that. But if you don't communicate that effectively, going back to clarity, and I would even add consistently. If you just do it once and put it out there and you become so disheartened that the masses didn't show up, despise not small beginnings. And I have to tell myself that every single day. I have to tell myself with the real estate, with the bodybuilding that I do, because sometimes I'll go a whole week and I'm just like on fire in the gym and super consistent, the diet's consistent, and I just don't see the amount of gain or progress that I would like. But just keep at it. So hopefully that helps. And one last key, on day 5 and day 6, actually it was for all the days, I didn't notice it until some days later, was that there was this awesome note-taking. And I don't know if this was a participant in the challenge or if it's someone on the staff, but that's a great value point. And you can probably find an AI service or some type of application that will take notes as you're speaking. So if you're doing coaching, if you're doing a presentation, et cetera, if you don't know of an app or you're kind of weary of AI, okay, strip the audio and then you can go back and do the notes, or find someone, outsource that thing, man. Say, hey, I need a note taker who can listen to this presentation and, generate some notes. Once you've identified that solution, you go ahead, do your presentation, your offer, your coaching, your teaching, and say, hey, if you like notes from this, sign up. But I like the fact that while we were in the challenge, when they posted the link for the notes, and I clicked on that, as the challenge was going on, the notes were being written. That's why I think it may have been an AI feature, which is totally cool. So yeah, have the notes. If you can find that feature where it's writing them, that's just such a huge value point. So anyway, you all be blessed. Y'all have a great evening. That was day 5. Day 6 was the Phantom Reunion, where we got more teaching. So I just kind of put it all together for those nuggets. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I'm going to have some more awesome content coming for all of you. But yes, it definitely helps when you leave the comments. I'm reading all the comments. You guys are totally awesome. I really appreciate you, and see you soon.